All right, y'all, you all know me, but one person that you don't know that you hear me mention all the time is my roommate, Paige. Fun fact about Paige, well, two fun facts. She refuses to be on videos, but also she is the world's best bread baker. She did a story for Southern Living that was called Bread Basket, and she developed the most amazing sweet potato rolls. I tasted them, and they are probably one of my favorite things that Paige has ever made, and probably one of my favorite things that I've ever eaten. I've eaten them multiple times, but I have never made them myself, so I decided today while she's out for a run, I am going to give these rolls a try and see if I can live up to Paige's bread baking skills. So the first thing that she says to do is bring sweet potato and milk to a boil in a saucepan over medium high. I'm doing exactly what the words say because I know me, I will mess these up, and Paige knows what she's doing. So this is 12 ounces of sweet potato cut into 1/2-inch pieces, which is about 2.5 cups. And roast potato, 2/3 cup of whole milk. Bring it to a boil and let it cook. Then after you bring it to a boil, it says reduce heat to medium-low and cook until the potatoes are very soft. And then I'm gonna mash them with a potato masher so they're smooth. So basically, she's making mashed sweet potatoes, and I am here for it, at least up until this step. This next part says to stir together the warm water, yeast, and a teaspoon of the sugar in a small bowl. Let stand until foamy, about 5 minutes. So the next step says beat together sweet potato mixture, yeast mixture, eggs, 4 tablespoons of the melted butter, and the remaining 3 tablespoons of sugar. Yeast mixture, eggs, 4 tablespoons of the melted butter, and remaining 3 tablespoons of sugar in the bowl of a stand mixer fitted with a dough hook on low speed to combine. With mixer running, gradually add flour and salt, beating on low until dough is soft and smooth, about 4 minutes. Now the recipe says to turn the dough onto a lightly floured surface and knead it until it is smooth and elastic for about 5 minutes, adding up to 1/3 cup of flour if needed, because the dough might be very sticky. Only add the flour if it's sticky. I'm gonna need to add the flour. I've seen her make these before. Next step is to transfer the dough ball to a lightly greased lightly greased bowl, whatever. It's been a long day. Let stand at room temperature until doubled in size, about 1 to 1.5 hours. Next step says to form the dough into 15 balls and place it in a greased 9x13. I don't have a metal one of those, so I'm using a 1/4 sheet tray, which is the same size, fun fact, as a 9x13. Okay, I formed all the balls, and now they have to rise again for 45 minutes to an hour until they're doubled in size in the ball shapes. Been a long day, here's up, but I'm ready to bake these rolls. This is the part of the recipe that I am kind of going off on my own. Paige does not tell me to do this in the original recipe, but I think that she would very much approve of this. So instead of baking them straight like this, I'm going to brush them with egg wash and then sprinkle them with everything seasoning. Oh! Then we're going to make green chili cheeseburgers as sliders and put them in the sweet potato roll with everything seasoning. It is going to be epic. Look at these. They're so pretty. Like, honestly, just as pretty now as they are going to be when I take them out of the oven and put them in my stomach. They should be illegal. Check back in 18 to 22 minutes. They smell bomb, and I just have to say, I think I pretty much nailed it. I mean, Paige nailed it when she came up with the recipe, but I executed it today. And I did a freaking good job. Look at these. And I think the addition of the everything bagel seasoning is fire, like fire emoji, 100 emoji. There's not an emoji, but there should be. Look at these. So Paige's original recipe calls for a cane syrup butter with flaky sea salt on the top, which is bomb. But since we are going the more savory route with these green chili cheeseburgers, and because I wanted to try the everything bagel seasoning on them, that's why I did it this way. But if you follow the recipe exactly and you make that cane syrup butter, oh, mind blown. It's so good. So I just finished my green chili cheeseburgers. As you can tell, I didn't like it, but I will give it an honest review. I did a great job baking the sweet potato rolls. I like the everything seasoning on them, but I am sad that the everything seasoning that I have has some fennel seed in it, because the fennel seed is not my favorite thing in the world, so I wish it didn't have that in there. Otherwise, delicious, and Paige even approved of my rolls. Like, that is the highest compliment anyone could ever receive. So 10 out of 10 for the sweet potato rolls. You can swipe up for the recipe and you can try these things for yourself. Use the cane butter though, it's so good. Quick update on the sweet potato everything rolls. Paige and I were doing workouts along with Schlebby in the living room. Paige got me planking to the Roxanne challenge. Someone ate 2 rolls while we were in there. Basil, what do you have to say for yourself? She's already lethargic. Are you sick yet? Explain yourself. Explain yourself!